Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Schneider. Welcome to the Song Club.
I knew it was a bad idea to meet you here, my dear. 'Cause now that I've done it, my heart...
All right, here we are with that rousing studio audience. We're trying something new, getting that live audience feel to pump up the excitement. Welcome, everybody. It's Song Club number 58. And I want to thank everybody on my Patreon. Thanks so much for your support there. And if you're not on Patreon, you want to get on it because you want to get your crafty little fingers on these songs that you're about to hear me talk about. You can do so very easily by going to patreon.com/Bob Schneider and joining today. You can get all the songs from all the other previous podcasts, over 4,000 songs. You can start your own radio station, a Bob Schneider radio station, and make, who knows, whatever the guy who started Turner Classic Movies, however much money he made, billions. Monetize what I have been unable to monetize. And because maybe you're a business person, maybe you're not a creative person. And so you're like, oh, I can take this good gooey crap that Bob Schneider's created, monetize it, and make that dollar bill, y'all. That's what Turner did. Is it Ike Turner that started Turner Classic Movies? Or is that the guy that beat Tina Turner on the regs? I don't know. Whoever married Jane Fonda, that Turner, that dude was like, I'm going to take all these old movies and I'm going to get my Crayolas out and give them a little bit of that edgy 90s color treatment. And next thing you know, he's stacking paper up to the MF ceiling like Young Thug, but in a very serious, no-nonsense way. And then started CNN, and then probably started getting mani-pedis, I imagine. Probably has like really well cared for feet. And is he still alive? Who knows? And if he is still alive, his feet are being cared for. Because when you get into that $1 billion bracket, your feet are so good. But if you're like, I don't know, working for a living like Madonna, or Donna Summer, I should say, if you're working hard for the money like Donna Summer, you don't want to be showing them feet off on the red carpet. You want to be keeping them under the blanket because they might not be as well cared for as Turner Classic Movie feet or other billionaires with their sweet, intensive, oiled up toeses. So it's 2022. I mean, oh my God. What happened to 21? I think I might have talked about this on the last podcast, but man, what a year. That year came and went. But here we are in 2022, and it'll be an interesting year, I think. Hopefully not too interesting. Hopefully just real chill. Hopefully it'll be the year where everything gets back to chill status and not off the rail status like it has been the last 2 years. I had the wonderful feeling of getting COVID over the holidays, which has been fine because I got vaccinated because of that. I don't know if it's because of that, but probably it made it very chill getting that COVID. So if you're on the fence about it, my recommendation is get that vax, but And if you don't want to get it because you want to roll the dice, maybe you're young, maybe you're healthy, hats off to you. But I'm just doing the math on it. I did the math, and the math looked good, and still feel firm about the math with the vaccine. So I like to talk to the doctors, not the one or two, but the most doctors. If there's 100 doctors in the room, and 98 say do this with your toes, and 2 of them are like, don't do that with your toes, man. I'm gonna go with the 98. Call me crazy. Call me crazy. And please, please, for goodness sakes, I know I don't know how many people are listening to this podcast, hundreds of thousands, I'm sure. So I'm sure in those hundreds of thousands, there's a few people that are like, oh no, Bobby's getting political. No. I'm staying strictly scientific. I'm staying in the realm of science. When it comes to my health, I like to rely on science, not the politicians. I don't necessarily. I mean, when I want my politics, when I want it served up hot and icy, or hot and tasty, then I go to the politicians. But if I want my medical advice, I go to the scientists in the medical community, and I stay away from the politics. Oh man, people get. Here's what's the problem. Nothing's happened in 50 years in America, so people are like looking for stuff to get real bent out of shape about. Hey, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Like Bobby McFerrin. Don't worry, be happy. It is a beautiful day. The birds are out singing and shining. And I'm very happy and very glad to be alive. And also to be able to see 2022, because back in the day, back in the 90s, I bought a map. Speaking of not getting science involved in my life, I bought a map back in the 90s that showed what the world was going to look like in 2012. It's called a future map, and it had all these areas of the map that were going to be underwater, and then also a big body of water called Atlantis that was going to rise up out of the sea because these tectonic plates were going to shift. And I had it framed, and I had it up in my house. I used to look at it and go, this was the 90s where 2012 was so far away. I was like, oh, that's neat. It'll be interesting if I make it that far. And then it got to be 2012, and I was like, oh, shit's about to fall off. And then 2013 came around, and I was like, maybe they got it wrong by a year or two. And then now it's 10 years later, and still I've put the map up. I mean, it's still in the frame, and when I'm going to take it out of a frame, put something else in that frame? No. It's somewhere in my attic. But there's a map there that predicted what the world was going to... Now, was that scientific? No. That was just some dude who had an idea. He had a feeling. He had a feeling about something and turned it into a map. And I bought it. I bought into it because why not? It was interesting and fun. And I like predictions about the future. So, anyways, I don't know what that has to do with anything about the song club, except for the fact that I've got some wonderful songs this week. And when I say this week, I mean this month. So let's get into the song club grab bag for this beautiful month of January 2022. And let's start right off with the latest song called Nothing Better to Do. Now, this is a co-write that I did with a friend of mine, Rachel Loy, who's a very talented bass player. She's a songwriter. She's a singer. She's very much in demand studio session player in Nashville. And I met her years ago before she moved to Nashville when she was a very young lady. I think she grew up and was born and raised in Austin. And I was lucky enough to play a couple gigs with her when I was looking for a bass player. And immediately I was like, oh, please be my bass player. And she's like, oh, I'm going to move to Nashville. And which she did a few weeks later, where I think she became she started playing with maybe, I don't know, some country fucking dude. I don't fucking know. When am I supposed to remember everything all of a sudden? Am I supposed to be able to remember names that somebody told me one time? Is that what I am? Like some kind of name recording android? No. Fuck no. Tell me a name. Tell me anything. I'll fucking forget it. Because I'm an artist. Damn it. I'll forget shit. Anyways, I'm still trying to remember the name. It's the guy that did the Monday Night Football. He's got a famous dad and a famous son. He's in the middle. He's 2. I keep wanting to say Charlie Daniels, but it's not Charlie Daniels. It's the other guy. And I wanted to say Roy Rogers, but it's not Roy Rogers. It's funny that I can't think of him. Anyways, again, who cares? She played with somebody famous. And now she's back in Austin, or maybe she's not. Maybe she's in Nashville. I'm not sure. I think the Nashville people think she's still in Nashville. And the Austin people think she's still in Nashville. I don't know. She's keeping it real. The spy who came in from the cold about her whereabouts. But here's what I do know. She sent me some music and I wrote some lyrics to it. And then I sent it back to her and she made this beautiful mix of this song that turned out fucking great. And you guys get it in the song club because you're fucking getting the shit here. You can't get this song on Patreon. You can't get this. I mean, you can get it on Patreon. You can't get it on Spotify or Apple Music or any other fucking place. This is the only place you're going to get this song, and it's fucking good. So don't take my word for it. Let's check it out. It's called Nothing Better to Do, co-write with Rachel Loy. Here we go. I'm feeling that already, right?
We were listening to Migos in the back of your Ford when you said something made me say, oh Lord. Said the Carpenters got the best beats in town. Oh, I ain't no prophet, I don't pretend to be, but I swear when you first laid your eyes on me, I had a feeling the sky was about to fall down. Middle of October, down by the lake, when you held me, I started to shake. When you held me, about broke me right in two. There was water running down the side of my face when you told me you had to get out of this place, 'cause there's no place I'd rather be than with you. So if you wanna meet me down by the tracks, you can take my heart and paint it black. You can have all I've got to give away. If you got nothing better to do, sing me a song and I'll sing one too. If you've got some time, let me share it with you.
Damn, boy. Is that fucking Coldplay? Is that Coldplay in the house? What the hell? That turned out great. I don't do a lot of co-writes, but man, that one paid off. It was a nice job that Rachel did, and myself. I'm going to give myself some props too for coming up with my part. We both came up with good parts. Sometimes that works when you're co-writing, and sometimes you come up with all the good stuff and the other person's just in the room That's when it kind of sucks. But this was not one of those times. Anyways, we did another one. That was the second one. We did one the week before as well. We were just like, well, the one we did the week before was really good. We're like, let's roll the dice again. You know, like when you're at the craps table and you get that hot roll and you're just rolling. There's some strange woman next to you. Smells good. She's all excited. You're caught up in the moment. You're gambling. You're just throwing dice on that green felt. Just the sound of it, the ASMR of that fucking rolling those dice, and then the people sitting around you, strangers, all drunk on gambling drunk. And they're all just like, yeah. And they're all putting their bets down like with their octopus hands. Everybody's just, let's see those fucking dice, you fucking motherfucker. Roll that shit. You're just rolling it. This is roll, whatever the good rolls are. I've never fucking played craps in my life. I have no idea what a good roll is. But that's what happened. We were playing the song game the week before, and we rolled the dice, and there came up good roll, and then we rolled them again, and we came up with that song. And you're probably like, well, let's hear that first song. I'm about to play it for you. Now, is this the first song that we wrote called The Shining? Yes. It's called The Shining, but it doesn't have anything to do with the movie The Shining or the book The Shining, which I don't know if you've read the book and seen the movie, but they're two different things. Some of the stuff that happens in the book happens in the movie, but not a lot. I didn't like the movie when it came out. I'm still not convinced it's a great movie, to tell you the truth. It's got some great scenes. There's a lot wrong with that movie. Anyways, the book is amazing. I think the book's better than the movie. Which you're like, you know, I don't know, maybe you love that movie. I do feel like The Shining's one of those movies where you think you love it, but then if you actually were to break it down, you'd be like, this is a good movie. It's got great scenes. But a movie's more than great scenes, I think. Anyways, plus it's isn't it from the 80s? So from the 80s, stuff in the 80s is like hard to watch sometimes. In the future where we are right now, 2022. But anyways, let's listen to this song. I don't know what to say about it, but this song turned out pretty goddamn good too. And it's yours for the low price of whatever you pay on Patreon. So let's listen to a little bit of it. It's called The Shining. Oh, that's not the song. That's a different song. But let's listen to The Shining. Oh shit, are we on Top 40 Radio? Yeah, I think so. Dude, we're on the new Top 40 Radio.
I saw the moon last night, did you see it?
Ooh, how about that volume just go fluctuating?
It's like someone had set the whole thing on fire, if you can believe it.
Are we on Top 40 Radio?
I couldn't take it, it was too much. I tried to reach out and grab it, it was just outside my touch. And when it sat down in the trees, I thought the whole time would just burn in the breeze. But it didn't, just stayed the same. And no one knew how close we came to going up in flames. I heard the news and it was good. Nobody felt misunderstood. Everybody was having a good time. Everybody was feeling so fine. Everywhere we went, it was time well spent. Nobody complaining, nobody whining, just shining. forever since we had such beautiful weather. Nothing can hold me, nothing can drop me. Not the Empire State.
Well, there's that song. Man, I just put on some glasses. These glasses have the most amount of ridiculous gunk on them. I don't know. I don't. It's not like they've never been clean. It's just that my daughter was handling these glasses recently, and she got a lot of 6-year-old girl finger on these glasses. They are just covered in just germs, I imagine. That's just germy. But these glasses are nice. I feel like these are pretty fashionable. If you're not watching this on YouTube, I don't know why. Why are you not watching this on YouTube? Oh, it's because you're an adult. Anyways, if you're watching it on YouTube right now, you're like, damn, Schneider, how come you're... Damn, son. What are you about ready to roll down that? Are you at Cannes? Are you doing this from Cannes? From the Cannes Film Festival? Anyways, I got some nice glasses. Those are prescription. Those are Warby Parkers. So they're prescription, but they're, prescription, but at that sweet Warby Parker price. Yeah, that sweet Warby Parker price. Is Warby Parker the most bespoke name of all time for any company? Yep, I think so. Those people, when they came up with Warby Parker, they were like, oh, we fucking got the name. Because, they were sweating that for a while. They're like, what are we going to call this company? What are we doing again? Oh, we're selling glasses? Sunglasses? No. No. Prescription glasses on the internet. Oh, so we're going to sell frames to people and they've never tried them on? What are we doing again? So here's the deal. What we're going to do is we're going to sell prescription glasses to people over the internet, but we're just going to show them a picture of it. Yeah, but when I go into the sunglass place to buy sunglasses, I try on like literally 50 pairs and none of them fit right. And then I usually leave without buying a pair, but every once in a while I'll find a pair that fits, but it's so rare. But most of the time, none of them look right. So and then we're just going to do that, but on the internet where there's no way that they're going to fit right. Yeah, but if we come up with a really cool name for it, if we come up with the right name, these glasses will sell themselves. I'm like, oh, what are we going to call it? Steak eyes? What's that? It's like snake eyes, but steak eyes. Like, most other opticians are serving up burgers. We're serving up steak eyes. And they're like, that's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, we'll put that one up on the whiteboard. Anyways, one day some dude fucking came up with that Warby Parker and everybody was just like spooging. They're just like, what's going on? Everybody's ejaculating. Why? We came up with the name Warby Parker. Oh my. And they just all went out and bought like brand new fucking cars. As soon as they came up with the name, they're like, all right, everybody, buy cars. What about, how are we going to pay? Don't worry, Warby Parker. No problem. They would just go down to like Jaguar. I'd like to buy a Jaguar. Looks like you're not making a lot of money here according to your IRS reports. Yeah, but we're going to sell glasses, sunglasses? No, glasses to people on the internet. What? Yeah, but we're going to call it Warby Parker. How many do you want? How many Jaguars do you want? I'll just take one. So, those were 2 songs. And here's the other newest song. How about that transition? Here's what, one of these years in the future, they're going to be like, who was the best at podcasting? And the names will come up like Joe Rogan, Conan O'Brien, Howard Stern, even if he ever gets into the podcasting game, Adam Carolla, Chris D'Elia, Theo Vaughn. These are names that will be brought up. The guys at Smartless. But really, the scientists and the technicians, the podcast technicians, will come to this podcast and go, well, this is the guy. This is the guy that did it better than anyone. This is the guy who consistently, week after week, without editing ever, without a single edit ever once, just truly created some of the magical moments that podcasts and podcasters dream of. The time he went from Warby Parker to just talking about his next song without any clear transition. Holy fuck me in the nuts. Holy suck my nuts off of my butthole. Did he really do that? He went from Warby Parker to just talking about the next song without nothing. Jesus Christ. And they'll look at that and they'll be in awe. And then people will be gasping in the class, the virtual class. Of course, everything will be virtual at that point. And, yeah. And you guys will be old. Because you're old now, but you'll be even older. And your great-grandchildren will be like, were you there when it happened? And you'll be like, yeah, I was there. I was listening when it went out for the first time back in 2022. And I knew it was good then, but I didn't understand how good until, of course, later. So anyways, here's another new song in the Song Club. It's called Breaking My Heart for the Whole World to See. So let's check it out. See if we like it. All right, first of all, we got to crank this shit up. Also, this was done in Ableton Live and not Logic. Oh, yeah. Alrighty, we're rocking. Let's crank it, I guess.
Too much heat, too soon.
Yeah.
Blowing my damn mind up like a big balloon.
Come on.
Like a volcano, too hot to touch.
Yeah.
Baby, you're fine, but it's too much.
Too much.
Sting me, make me swear. Don't give a fuck. That I don't even care. But that ain't true. Breaking my heart for the whole world to see. I can't believe. Breaking my heart for the whole world to see. I ain't Drake, not pretending.
Oh, shit.
I ain't Magic Mike.
What?
You can plainly see.
Body
But I
issues.
got all the love
Got all the love.
under the sun.
Yeah.
When it comes to giving it away, you're the only one I want to give it to. You know it's true. I love the way you do you.
I love the way you do you. That's breaking my heart for the whole world to see. I can't believe that you're breaking my heart for the whole world to see. But 'tis true, 'tis true. So those are all the new songs. Those are the songs I wrote last month. It was a weird month because there was a song that I wrote at the end that you'll hear next month. There was a song that came in right at the beginning of the month that I played on last month's show. So that's why there was only 4 songs. And when I say 4, I mean there was only 3. But I do have some wonderful songs from the archives that are in the song club this week, and I'm constantly amazed actually by how many wonderful songs have not been released on the song club. Most people, I dare say, most songwriters, they have a few songs that are good. Like even the best songwriters that you like, just 5 or 6 songs that they wrote that are good, and the rest are pretty bad. And I've got hundreds of really good songs, and then a bunch of songs after that that are really pretty good too. So, I mean, I hate to toot my own horn, but these songs I'm really happy, and I'm just like, how have I not put these songs out? Like if I was Dawes or I don't know who else, Tina Turner, these songs would have gone out Song Club 3. Song Club number 3, these songs would have been on there. Of course, then they wouldn't have had any songs after that to put out. But some really nice songs that, obviously I've only been doing this for a few years now, the Song Club. Obviously, these were written before that. And there's lots of songs like that are still yet to be released. So, like any great journey, the Song Club adventure that we're all on together will continue for many, many years with lots of wonderful songs that have been written but never released, including this next song. It's called TITTY BAR. Now, I wrote this song, it says I wrote it in 2014. That sounds about right. Now, I haven't been to a titty bar many years before that. I don't remember the last time I went. Probably in the 2000s, I went to one in Portland called Union Jack's. It's the last time I went. And then before that, I would say maybe the late 90s, I went to a couple titty bars. And again, I've never liked them. I've always thought of them as like going to a restaurant where they bring the food in front of you and then they take it away. And I'm like, wow, I'd like to eat this food. Yeah, this is just for looking and smelling, but not for tasting. What? But I have to pay for it anyways? Yeah. You have to pay for your drinks, but the food, you can't eat. Just look at it. And it looks delicious, some of this food. And also, it's so fucking horrifying. It's horrifying. Nobody would be in there doing that if they weren't getting paid. So jobs where you're only doing them for money, that's always bad news. A lot of pretending going on. A lot of ladies pretending to be more interested than they actually are so they can make money. It's a terrible place. I don't like them. And hats off to anybody who has worked in a titty bar, who's made that work for them. I can't think of a more horrible job. But hats off to you if you've made it work and you've come out of it on the other side. The only person that I knew that was a titty dancer is a pretty good friend of mine. She was a titty dancer for a few years. She went into the titty dancing business very young, very vivacious, beautiful, and she came out and had aged many, many years in the titty bar game, and looked much, much worse for the wear after being a titty dancer for just a couple years. And then in her early 40s, she committed suicide, which was a while ago, probably 10 or 15 years ago now. I'm not sure how long it's been. It's been a while. But I found out and I was very sad. And I don't know if it's because she was a titty dancer that she committed suicide or she just had depression. But I'm sure those years of being a titty dancer weren't helpful. She was also a nymphomaniac, which is interesting because I've come up across a couple nymphomaniacs in my time. You usually don't know they're nymphomaniacs. I didn't know she was one when I first met her, but I first met her because I was playing in a band called Joe Rockhead, and we would be down at the Black Hat playing every Tuesday. And so I met her there one night, and she was like, "Hey, will you come home with me?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'll come home with you because you're young and beautiful and you want me to come home with you. So, of course, I'm going to do that." But the problem was, at the time, I had just acquired crab lice, and I knew it. And so we got back to her place, and she wanted to get undressed, and I was like, I can't, because I'm so nice. I'm not a beast. And I didn't want to tell her that I had crabs either. So I just said, yeah, I don't feel comfortable having sex right now, even though I really did feel comfortable. So I left. No sex was had, which I guess looking back on it probably wasn't such a bad thing. And then during the week, I went and got some stuff for the crabs and got rid of the crabs. And the next week came around, and sure enough, there she was again at the club. And I played, and afterwards I'm like, "Hey, let's do that thing again where we go back to your place and you ask me if we can have sex." And I say yes this time. And she's like, "Yeah, that's not happening." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm going home with this other guy." Turns out she would just go home with a different guy every night and didn't like repeats. Didn't like the repeat action. So, of course, I immediately fell in love with her and would watch her week after week going home with different guys. And then eventually became a titty dancer. I never went and saw her dance because that would have been horrible and weird and creepy. I just knew it because we'd become friends at that point. We're friends. But also friends where I was in love with her and wanted to be with her, but also was a friend of hers. So also, by the way, if you're beautiful and you're a woman and you have friends that are dudes, they want to have sex with you. Unless they're gay. So just know that to be true. And don't pretend that it's not true. Because you know it's true. Everybody knows it's true. So anyways, I will say this. So years later, I went over to her house and she was in bed with a bandmate of mine. Again, I'm not going to say anybody's name. And it was late at night. This is in the 90s. And she got up out of bed and came into... I don't even know why I went over there. I was, who knows, just randomly stopped by. She gets up out of bed with this guy who I know and comes in the living room and proceeds to give me a blowjob. Now, we've never had sex. Nothing's ever happened. But she decided that night to... I think she just thought that was hot, that if there was a guy in the living room she was giving a blowjob to and then she would go back and have sex with this other guy. And I wasn't going to say no to that. And that happened. And then cut to a few years later, and I found out she's killed herself. So a real tragedy and a real bummer, because she really was a nice person. She really was a good person who liked to laugh a lot and liked to have a good time. And I will say this, a few years after this, after the blowjob, when she, after she had transitioned out of the titty bar business, and she was, like I said, she was looking worse for the wear. She was like, "Hey, let's hook up." And I'm like, there are a lot of miles on that odometer, and I am going to pass on that. And so it was, it's too late for me. That train had sailed, or had left the station, I think is what it's called. Anyways, but here's a song called Titty Bar. And it go a little something like this. Let's crank it though.
I used to make it rain at the titty bar. Drinks flying all across the room. Asses in the air, 20s like teardrops at a funeral. Peeling off me just like the sun peeling off the moon. Shine like a star, shining like a diamond. Shining like New York City when the day is done. Shine like a smile on a baby. Shine like the sun. Well, those wild days are behind me. I don't go there anymore. When it comes to a wild time, it's all you, baby. Make life worth living for. And you got me. Shine like a star, shining like a diamond. Shining like New York City when the day is done.
Yeah. Shining like a star, shining like a diamond. That does remind me of another titty bar experience I had. Which I might have told this story before, but I was friends with Vallejo. If you guys are familiar with that band, the Vallejo rhythm section was the original rhythm section for the Scabs back in '95. So I knew those guys pretty well, and they loved going to the titty bars. And so they talked me into going there one night to the Yellow Rose, and I went down there with them. And they had the VIP. That was all VIP for them. Like, they were friends with the owner. The owner was at our table buying us drinks. I didn't drink, but I was having Cokes. And the owner's girlfriend was being very seductive and flirty with me. And maybe did a few lap dances. I don't know. And the owner like also was handing out Viagra, which I'd never tried before, and tried to give me one. I was like, don't need it, don't want it. And one of the Vallejo guys did take this Viagra and then popped it, and he also didn't need. I mean, we're all in our 20s at that time. Or maybe in early 30s or something, but young guys who didn't need Viagra at a titty bar. But he took it, and I think he ended up having like one of those long 4 or 5 hour erections, which he regretted afterwards. Anyways, but it was the best possible titty bar experience that you could have, and it was still not good. Like, it still was not fun. I guess if you're not drinking and you're not getting laid, why are you at a titty bar? So that was it for me. That was the last time I ever went to a titty bar in the States. And then, not in the state, in Texas, I guess. And then I guess I went to that one in Portland. But yeah, not a fan, but I like that song. Even though I never made it rain at the titty bar. But I like the idea that when I was younger, I did. Speaking of making it rain at the titty bar, this next song is called Weed in the Baby Bottle, and it features my wife singing on the chorus. We had found out that, I don't know, she had read somewhere, I had read somewhere that maybe in Jamaica they would put weed in the baby's milk to help the calm the baby down and help them go to sleep. Oh, that's nice. I just lost my my camera on YouTube just went black. That's nice. Let's try. Let's try seeing what happens here. If we can get that back. Oh, this is wonderful. Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, it's now black on YouTube, so that's cool. I don't know why it went black. Anyways, if you're listening to this on podcast, once again, you're like, oh man, amazing. Amazing podcasting going on. All right, let's listen to this Weed in the Baby Bottle, and while we're listening to it, I'll see if I can figure out what the hell is going on YouTube. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's authentic reggae. I got it. Nice. Authentic reggae. Yeah, man.
Get them bees out your ear. Put the weed in the baby bottle. Put the weed in the baby bottle. Put the weed in the baby bottle.
Mamate.
Oh, yeah. Was not able to figure out this shit on YouTube. But who cares? Who really does truly care? I don't. Maybe somebody does. I don't know who possibly that would be. If I don't care, I don't know who the person would be that would care. I mean, if you're watching it on YouTube and you're watching my head talking and then all of a sudden it just went black. Not only did it go black, but then I also turned it off. And then, so if you're listening on YouTube, then all of a sudden the audio's... But you wouldn't know it. It would go from like... You're hearing that song and then it would like seem like it would skip. And you're like, oh, what happened there? What happened was I turned off the streaming thing and now it's back on and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, now there's a relaxing picture of a beautiful cabin in the mountains with snow falling, which is where I'm broadcasting this from. So just, you can pretend that I just went to go make a delicious bowl of spaghetti in the next room, and then I'll be back. So that's Weed in the Baby Bottle. That was my wife singing. Wonderfully done. Wonderful job that she did. Let's listen to another song because we're getting close to the end of this damn podcast. All of my wonderful Titty Bar regalias that I had. This is called Watch the Colors Run. Again, one of my favorite songs. Really enjoyed this song. When I wrote it. I don't know what it's about. Let's listen to it. It's disconcerting for sure. I mean, I like that music for sure. Like the music already. I'm like, okay, what we got here? This guy's obviously wearing a tux.
Destroy the castle, burn the city to the ground, peel the stars back till the sky is falling down. Bring the non-believers, set them down here at our feet, and let them have their say, then blow them away.
Oh yeah, nice.
Hurt the horses, bring them to their knees, shoot out the windows, let in the evening breeze, forget your manners, take whatever you see.
All right, I figured it out. By the way, if you're watching on YouTube now, everything's back to good. Thank God for that. Thank God for that. It's not even back to good. It's back to better than good. Meanwhile, the podcast 100%. Meanwhile, if you're listening to this podcast, you're like, I hope this goes long today, because so far it doesn't get any better than this. So far, like, why? Rogan got 100 mil? And how much is Bobby getting for this hair? What's going on with this hair? I'm doing like a 12 years of podcaster here. This hair. Well, yeah, that's that song, Watch the Colors Run, which is pretty good. Pretty good. I like it because it's almost like it's like Game of Thrones, kind of. It's almost like Game of Thrones, but it's a song. And similar to Game of Thrones, for a while there, if you're watching this on YouTube, it was black and you're like, is something wrong with my TV? Is something wrong with my computer? Because I can't see anything. And didn't they spend more money on this than they've ever spent on anything? Yeah, kind of like this podcast. All right, let's listen to another song. This is a song called The Vapor King. Now, the title comes from this saying I guess it's a hip-hop saying. I learned it a while back when I was deeply immersed in the hip-hop scene. And it's called it comes from the phrase catching the vapors, which the way I understood it to be is like if somebody was doing something like performing a song, or, I don't know, maybe they're a basketball player and they're playing well, or whatever they're doing, they're excelling at something, and then the person watching would be like, ooh, I caught the vapors. And then they're interested, which is a thing. That's what happens on The Bachelor. Because you put all these ladies together and there's only one dude, so because of the way the human brain works, they're like magically, they're all like attracted to him all of a sudden because there's only one. Now, if there was 10, like there is on The Bachelorette, or 15, they're only attracted to one because they figured out, they do the math, these ladies. But the math is only one, so he has to be attractive, and then everybody's vying for him, so of course he's attractive. But it's a trick. It's not true. And that's why all of those relationships end after The Bachelor is over. They all end. But The Bachelorette, on the other hand, a lot of those relationships actually last. A surprising number. Facts that you learn listening to the Song Club. or relearn, because I've probably already said that maybe I've said it many times. I feel like at this point with 58 song clubs, you're starting to get the vibe that my wife gets, which is like, oh, you've already told me that. I'm like, well, I don't remember telling you that, so I'm just going to keep telling. But the difference is on the podcast, I'm just going to keep retelling the same stories, but nobody can say, I mean, I guess you guys can like comment on it, but I would never read the comments. So you'd be commenting to each other like, damn, what's up with Bob? Why does he keep saying the same song? Why does he keep saying the same song, saying the same story over and over, and saying song instead of story? I don't know. Anyways, here's... By the way, Song Club 58, that's the song club where he truly stopped caring. We kind of had an idea that he didn't care much before, but when he got to 58 is really where he drew a line in the sand and said, oh, there will be no more caring. Was the podcast still better than it's ever been? Of course. Was it as good as any podcast that it's ever been made? Yes, of course. It's so good. All right, so here's the song Vapor King. Let's listen to it and see if we can see if we like it or what's going on with it. Okay. Yeah.
Smoke dope all day like it was no big thing.
Come on.
Baby, let me tell you about the Vapor King. Big bowl of gravy and a nugget ring. Lord, it don't mess with the Vapor King. Girl, get your heart broke, caught in steel screw. Drinking while they making me money. Molotov, Frankenstein, harder than a jackknife. Sweeter than a bag of brown honey. Girl, get your dukes up as punch gold chain, but there ain't no defense against the Vapor King. Put you in a headlock till you're ready to sing. You can't hide the bullets from the Vapor King. Girl, get your heart broke, caught in steel screw. Drinking wine and making mad money. It's a Molotov, Frankenstein, harder than a jackknife, sweeter than a bag of brown honey. He used to hang out with Wonder Woman back in the day. They were super friends, that's what they say. Sit around the house and do a goddamn thing. The Amazon lady and the Vapor King. But now the girls get their heart broke, caught in steel.
Damn, using them superheroes like it's going out of style. That's right. That's right. That's what I do. I use a lot of superhero references because I was as a kid I used to... as a kid, I used to read a lot of comic books. So I guess that's why, because it all comes from the subconscious. It all comes from that salad, that deep salad that's underneath everything. Well, look at us. We've gotten through another hour at the Song Club. It breezed by for me. I don't know about you guys. We had some technical challenges on YouTube, but you know what? Fuck YouTube. By the way, also, God damn it, if you're watching this on YouTube and for some reason you have not subscribed on YouTube, fucking subscribe right now. And also turn on notifications. Because what in the hell is going on? Of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, I'm sure you've subscribed. I mean, I've got like a couple million subscribers now, so I don't even know why I'm saying that. But there are people that I watch that I have not subscribed to because it's not like I was born in a world where there was YouTube. Like, it came later, and it's taken me a while to understand how it works. And only recently did I understand, oh, if I subscribe, every time something new comes, I'm going to see it, and I want to see this stuff. And we don't bombard you with bullshit. We only give you the best here at the Song Club, which is the way you like it and the way we like it. Anyways, let's get out of here with our last song of the 8 songs of the month. It's called What She Doesn't Know. And it's a kind of a lamenting, unrequited love song. Or it's a love gone wrong song. There's only a few kind of songs that I write. I write falling in love songs, being in love songs, falling out of love songs, love gone wrong songs, and then occasionally songs about murder and stuff like that. And this is a lamenting love gone wrong song. And it's called What She Doesn't Know. Anyways, it's going to take us out of here. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being on Patreon again. You can go to Patreon, patreon.com/Bob Schneider. You can join today and get all these songs and all the other songs. You can also check out my other podcast, I'm Okay, You're Okay, I'm Not Okay, You're Not Okay, with my friend Clint Wells. Until next time, let's go out of here with this What She Doesn't Know with our disco background, baby, if you're watching on YouTube. Smooth. Already we're like, you want to like make some spaghetti and also get some roses out and get some box wine and chill it.
I lost my nail.
And you're ready for this song.
Lost my knife. I lost my ace in the home. It nearly cost me my life. Lost my sweet disposition. My super glue. All I had, but I lost you. Lost my way, my winning streak, my Saturday night, and most of the week. All my karate, my Aspen, you were there. I was gasping for air. One day. Gone the next.
Right.
Bought a one-way ticket to the disappearplex. Took your love, I took the fall. Lost all I had, lost it all.